Okay, let's continue what we were doing. Amis won't be joining today, so we will continue.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we did relationship with peers in the last class, right? And let's read from here. Activity 20.5. Here is a case of Sujit and Manoj. They would often bully Sharad, a fellow NIOS learner, to lend them money. When he would refuse, they would hit him. He never shared this with anyone. One day, they snatched his purse and ran off. He had to walk home as he had no money for the bus. Sharad's neighbor, Abid, who had witnessed the whole incident, asked him to bring it to the notice of the village elders. Sharad hesitated but agreed when Abid offered to accompany him. Pick one example of positive and one of negative peer influence in this story. Can you give me an example of positive peer influence and negative peer influence?
The positive one would be Sharad's neighbor who asked him to bring it to notice with the village elders. The negative would be his Sujit and Manoj to making him lend them money.
Yes. Yes, Megan. Okay. Negative is Sujit and Manoj who bullied him. Okay. And the positive is his neighbor who helped him. Okay. Why do you think Sharad did not complain against the bullies for long?
Maybe because he was scared. Maybe they would.
He was scared. Yes.
They would hit him.
He was scared. Hesitant. Scared. Yes, correct. What difference did Abid's intervention make to the situation? Discuss these questions with your friend and family to find the answers. What difference did his neighbor's intervention made in Sharad's situation?
Yes, he stopped the two guys, I forgot their names, from stealing from him again.
Okay, stealing from him again and bullying him again. Yes, Megan. Correct. Now, developing healthy relationships and friendship is one of the most charming aspects of adolescence. Positive peer relationships are based on mutual respect and appreciation. Here are some ways to maintain healthy relationships. Most charming aspect of adolescence, one of the most charming means one of the most beautiful aspects is um, developing healthy relationships and friendships. Okay, so there are some ways to maintain healthy relationships. One of it is communicate effectively. Practice how to express your thoughts and emotions in socially acceptable ways. This involves learning to listen, speak clearly, politely, and seek others' opinion and voice your opinion. Okay? Like expressing your thoughts in socially acceptable ways, that is respectfully. Okay, learning to listen well, speak clearly, politely, and listen to others' opinion also. And when you are asked, you should know how to express your opinion also. Listening to others form an important part of effective communication. Like I said, two-way communication is effective, means when you are speaking as well as listening. Okay. Then Cultivate social skills like anger management, fairness, and sensitivity. Okay, these are social skills: anger management, managing your anger; fairness, being just and fair; sensitivity is being sensitive to the needs of other people and to your environment. Okay, then develop empathy, treat people as you would like to be treated by others. Empathy, placing yourself in their situation and understanding them. Okay, and treat people as you would like to be treated. Spend time together and keep working on your relationships by practicing the skills to resolve conflict and disagreements effectively. Okay, so in your relationships, you should know how to resolve conflicts. Okay, there are some, if you see elder people, couples, okay, some they follow the norm that you should not um, sleep and being angry with each other. Okay, or even the Bible also says that you should your anger should go before sunset. Right. So, like, if you're going to bed angry or without resolving, then it's not a good thing. So first they resolve it and then only they go to sleep. That's one way to resolve conflicts, okay, and disagreements. Some people have like different people have different things in their for their relationships, set for their relationships. Some people have it like first we no matter what happens, if disagreements are there, conflict is there, we communicate and resolve instead of shouting, showing anger, or not speaking to each other. We speak, we talk about it and resolve it. Okay, so these are practicing the skills of resolving conflict. Offer constructive criticism. What is constructive criticism? Constructive criticism is telling the other person how to improve in a manner which is respectful. Okay, telling the other person how to improve in a manner which is respectful, so and helping them to improve. Okay, that is known as constructive criticism. Like you let them know that in this area you need improvement. Okay, in this area you need improvement. But criticism is a negative word, but constructive criticism is positive. Okay, suppose your friend gets angry very quickly. So instead of telling them that you always get so angry, it looks so bad. Okay, instead of telling them like that, you can tell them that next time when a situation arises that causes you to anger, you can try taking 3 deep breaths. Okay, and calm yourself, and then you respond. Okay, then you respond. So one of my friends taught me the difference between reacting and responding. Okay, reacting and responding. Sometimes we react. Okay, sometimes when situation comes or when we are upset or when we are angry, we react. But what we should learn is to actually respond. Responding is thinking clearly and answering. Reacting, you are angry, you just say it. Okay, and you may shout and you may hurt the other person with your words. Reacting. Responding is calming yourself down, thinking about it. Okay, and then give your say the word, like say what you want to say. That is responding. So instead of reacting, we respond. And constructive criticism is very important. Okay, we should always be open to taking constructive criticism. Okay, if somebody is teaching us something, somebody is helping us improve or wants us to improve, we should be open to learn, open to improve. Treat each other fairly, forgive one another after clarifying the misunderstanding. Okay, treating each other fairly and forgive after clarifying the misunderstanding. Forgiveness is very important. Be generous and supportive. Be prepared to listen or talk to your friends in times of trouble. Okay, if you have trouble, you can share it with your friends. If they have trouble, be ready to listen to their problem and provide suggestions. Okay, maintain mutually respectful behavior. Remember, there is no room for bullying in a healthy relationship. In a healthy relationship, mutual respect is there. Okay, it's not that you can insult your friends and then you want respect from them. No, you respect them and they respect you. Mutual respect should be there. Okay, and bullying should not be there in any relationship. Or the one person considers themselves high and other person low. So those things also are not healthy in a relationship. Okay. Now, any doubt in any doubt in any of the points maintaining a healthy relationship?
What do you mean by in cultivative social skills? So that's the one. Need my fairness.
Say loudly, Megan.
In the cultivate social skills like anger management and fairness, what do you mean by fairness?
Fairness is treating people fairly. Okay, treating people fairly, not you can say not discriminating them, not doing showing things like treating one girl very good and the other girl poorly. Okay, but treating everybody with fairness. Okay, being just, respectful. That is being fairness. Okay. Okay. Anything else? No. Okay. Complete the following statements by giving appropriate reasons. Engaging in high risk behaviors is dangerous because
You could get hurt.
say again,
You could get hurt.
you could get hurt.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Risk behavior.
Where did we? One second, Megan. Yes, Megan. It is engaging in high risk behavior is dangerous because um, high risk behavior I'll find this out and let you know, Megan. Okay. I know we read this, but where exactly I do not remember. Okay. So this exact point I'll let you know. Keeping communication channel open with parents is important because
Communication channel.
yes, means communication that goes on both sides, like you say and listen with parents.
Because you need to understand their side, not just yours.
Yes, and it prevents misunderstandings. During adolescence, friends become very important because
we tend to, um, I would say look up, but tend to be more like them. So
because they go through the same phase and understand each other. They go through the same phase as you. And you and they both understand each other. Positive peer pressure should be encouraged because it, yes, Nikhil.
I don't know how to put it in words.
Say loudly.
I don't know how to put it in words.
Okay. Because it brings positive influence. And um and also it encourages healthy competition.
Okay. What's healthy competition again?
Healthy competition is again like you want to do better. Okay, you want to do better than what you were doing. Okay, but it is not coming from an insecure point of view or but it is coming from motivation. You feel highly motivated and you want to do more or much better than the previous time. That is healthy competition. Okay, a clash between parents and adolescents could occur because
Communication, misunderstanding.
yeah, because of miscommunication. Miscommunication, misunderstanding. They sometimes do not respect each other also. Okay, so due to all of these reasons, development of intellectual skills are one of the most important steps for adolescents to achieve their potential. This would be dealt in cognitive development. Okay, intellectual skills, like I said, it's related with the mind and mental abilities. Okay, and it is also very important for the development of intellectual skills of adolescents so that they can achieve their potential. Okay, cognitive development refers to mind development, the development of mind. Now, let's begin with cognitive development. Cognitive development refers to the development of brain, which facilitates adolescents to perform more complex mental functions. It is concerned with the development of a person's thought processes. It deals with the way these thought processes influence how we understand and interact with the world. These have been briefly explained below. Okay, we start development of brain, which enables adolescents to perform more complex mental functions. What can be complex mental functions? It can be dealing with a problem, okay, dealing with an issue that came, okay. Suppose you're like suppose hurt, okay, or betrayal, or things like that, or um, more. And besides that, it can also be while you're solving a difficult maths problem, okay, and you're putting all your brain into work, okay,
Yes.
that also. So these are all mental functions, complex mental functions, and our brain, like the mental development has to be done for us to develop the ability to do it, okay, to deal with things, emotions, and maths problems. It is concerned with the development of a person's thought processes, okay. Thought processes means how we perceive something, okay, what do we think of it and how we react about it, okay. It deals with the way these thought processes influence how we understand and interact with the world, okay. Now some people, I'll give you one example, okay. Okay. Um, some people, if they face betrayal, okay, some people, if they face betrayal, okay, what they will do, they will forgive and move on. Okay, they will forgive and move on. Some people will face depression. Okay, some people will avoid relationships at all, totally. Okay, some people will avoid relationships totally or fully. Okay. So these are responses. These are responses on how you deal with a complicated situation. Okay. I have seen people who forgive and move on. Okay. And I have seen people who are in depression and they stay in the hurt of that betrayal. And then there are those people who put on the facade of, or who put on the face of, I don't care, I don't give a damn about it. And then they avoid, I don't want to do any relationships now. Okay,
Yeah.
they avoid relationships totally. So same incident, but different way, different reaction. Okay, our thought processes influence how we understand and interact with the world. Okay, these are the complex mental functions, and all of it depends on um, our mental part. Okay, emotional and mental part and our thoughts and everything. Okay. Now, these have been briefly explained below. Let's see the example. Okay. Now, there is types of thinking. Okay. There is types of thinking. What is thinking? Thinking refers to the thoughts. Okay. The collection of thoughts that our brain thinks of. Okay. And they are categorized. Thinking is categorized into various parts. We'll talk about it. First is known as abstract thinking. Okay. At this stage, they can imagine the impossible. For example, if they hear items like a leopard can't change his spots, they can now understand that it means that a person cannot change his or her basic nature. Because of this ability, they can also write poetry and understand humor. Okay. Abstract thinking refers to that they can imagine the impossible. I'll tell you the exact meaning. Maybe this is idealism and imaginary audience. Okay. Personal fable. Hmm. One second. Abstract thinking basically refers to ideas or concepts that we cannot see, okay, or concepts or ideas that are intangible. We cannot see or you cannot touch, okay, ideas or concepts that are intangible. You know what is intangible, right?
Yeah.
Something that you cannot see or you cannot touch, okay, which are not physical in nature. Not physical in nature. For example, for example, emotions, beauty, again, justice. I would say justice. Can I see justice? Justice is not a person, right? I cannot see justice and I cannot touch justice. I can just feel justice.
Yeah.
Okay. I can just feel the emotions and I can just feel the beauty of something. Okay, but I cannot actually touch beauty. Okay. So that is the meaning of abstract thinking. Okay. It is a cognitive skill. Okay. And it involves seeing the bigger picture. Okay. Seeing the bigger picture of something. All right. And
Does it always talk about the future?
does it always talk about the future? Most of the time it does talk about the future, Megan. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. They are mostly, yes, they talk about the future, but not always. Okay. It can also talk about the present. Abstract thinking can be about the present, but it is unseen. Okay. It is the ability to understand ideas, patterns, relationships that are not physically present. Okay. But they are intangible in nature. Intangible in nature. Emotions, beauty, justice, freedom. Okay. These are all intangible. You cannot actually see them. Okay. Then yes, they have you like recognize patterns. Okay, you recognize patterns and understand them. Okay, then you sometimes also understand them with the help of some symbols, and sometimes there is hypothetical scenarios. Okay, to understand certain things. Okay, for example, Megan, if like I have a fear. Okay, I have a fear. Okay, and I am sharing it to my friend. Okay, that what if I say this to my mama and she says that. Okay, what if I ask permission and she says this thing? Hypothetical. Okay, hypothetical, but abstract thinking. Even hypothetical situations when you are giving to understand something comes under abstract thinking. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So because of this ability, because of these ideas and concepts are intangible, okay, you can write poetry and understand humor. Okay. Writing poetry is all about emotions. Okay.
Yeah.
That cannot be touched or seen but felt. Okay. And understanding humor is also about emotions. Okay. Or brain's ability to understand the things that cannot be seen. That is known as abstract thinking. Then you have personal fable. At this stage, adolescents think that they are unique and nothing bad can happen to them. This is one of the reasons for them to take risks. Okay. Um, they think that they are unique and nothing bad can happen to them. Okay. Like if elders will say, you come home, nothing will happen, and nothing will happen. Okay, all good. They constantly say, okay, don't do this, nothing will happen. Don't eat that, you'll catch a cold, nothing will happen. Okay. So this is one of the reasons for them to take risks, risk-taking behavior. Okay, they are energetic and spontaneous in nature, energetic, and they want to try new things. Okay, shift from different things without fear. Okay, spontaneity. They want to try new things and shift on different things without any fear. Okay, they will try basketball, they will try badminton, they will also try cricket, then they'll go swimming. Okay, they'll try out everything without any fear. This may include helping peers and family, serving the country, which leads in positive self-identity. Basically, when they do this, they have a positive self-identity. The ability to try new things can be used positively to bring about a positive change in the society. Okay, means that when you are trying out new things, it um, gives you positive self identity. When you have a positive self identity, you can become a responsible member of the society. Okay, if you have a positive self identity that this is who I am and you're confident and positive about it, then it also makes you a responsible part of the society. You will also show that support in the society, you will help out in the society as well. Okay, however, experimenting with certain things, certain risk behavior that is negative, such as drugs, sex, and many more such activities like driving at high speed, pillion riding without helmets, can often result in serious negative consequences. Okay, let me see what is pillion. Pillion, right? Let me just see and
Yes.
tell you. This is the person who is riding um, behind the ride. Okay? Like two people are riding without helmets. Okay, sitting the person who's sitting behind. Okay, alien, alien rider. And two people riding without helmets is without helmets is not good to drive. Okay, then all of these drugs and all and driving at high speeds often have negative consequences. This is negative, like risk behavior, which will have negative impact. Okay, a risk-taking behavior which may have negative consequences. Okay, so this is all known as personal fable. This is known as personal fable. Okay, then comes systematic thinking. Now, in systematic thinking, they are able to think systematically. If asked to take a decision, they are able to list and examine various alternatives and the consequences of each alternative before choosing any one. Okay, they think systematically means in a pattern. Okay, they list various alternatives. Okay, first you list the alternatives, what you can do, examine them deeply. Okay, then consequences also you will examine. Okay, and then you choose. Okay, then you choose. These are steps in systematic thinking. First, you list the alternatives, you examine all the alternatives, you consider what are the consequences of each alternative, and then you choose the best alternative. Okay, systematic thinking. Like when you are thinking to choose a career or subjects in class 10th and class 12th, okay, in secondary and senior secondary level, when you are trying to choose a subject or when you're trying to enroll for a course, you first see what courses are there. Okay, what jobs are there related to those courses. If you choose one course, what will be your path? Okay, and then you choose a course or a subject, right? So that is systematic thinking. Also, while planning for a family holiday, adolescents can list out the suitable options available, examine them, keeping in mind weather conditions, locations, best time to go, ways to reach the destination, and places to see, and then plan a holiday. Okay, we see first where to go. Okay, where to go, and then we see what is the weather. Okay, then we check the availability of conveyance. Okay, trains are available or buses or flights. Okay, then we check if hotels are available. We check once the all of this is done, we check what places we will go. Okay, so we check out the places and mark the places. We'll visit this, we'll visit that. Okay, and then we plan our trip. After considering all of these things, we finalize, okay, this is where we are going. We book the hotel, book the tickets. Okay, and then we plan a vacation. This is all systematic thinking where you think step by step. Okay,
Yep.
where you think step by step. Now, idealism and imaginary audience, two of these points we will do in the next class. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, Megan. Then I'll see you. Bye. Have a good day.